right. Appeals court says cop was defamed, sends case to jury to decide damages. The case of former Moose Lake police officer who sued a man for labeling him, quote, Pat the pedophile, went from being the largest jury award in Carleton County history to no money for the plaintiff when a judge overruled jurors and determined damages.
A public
Minnesota. Isn't that where Nick is?
This is the case. They set a precedent, awarded them the highest amount of money they could award them, and the crooked judge said, nah, go home and have a beer, bud.
In a decision in the same state, right? Minnesota?
Yeah. So this is why Nick had to hire Randazza, because every other lawyer knows this case and knows that they're not going to get that same judge again. And they know that it's probably going to be a worse fucking outcome.
Says in a decision, the Minnesota Court of Appeals reversed the judge's decision and ruled that the former police officer was defamed.
Yes.
The 3-judge panel put the case back in the hands of the jury to determine the damages. Patrick filed a lawsuit in 2001 claiming that Moose Lake resident Robin Schoenrock defamed him and negligently and intentionally inflicted distress with the label. In 2005, a jury determined that Long Ben should get $500,000 in damages. The judge ruled 5 months later that there was no legally sufficient evidentiary basis for a reasonable jury to award damages. The appeals court ruled that a false statement referring to another person as a pedophile is defamatory because it imputes serious sexual misconduct to another, and damages are presumed.
Case closed. So Nick knows he lost the case already.
Nick is trying to say that show me your damages, then show me your damages. Like the damage is in the accusation. The only issue for jurors to decide in the retrial is general damages for past and future harm for the reputation, mental distress, humiliation, embarrassment, and future health care expenses. Ooh, that's a big one.
This is on a small scale too, right? So this is just the guy was saying it about another guy in his community. Nick did it online.
This sucks for Nick. Long Ben also brought tort claims against respondent Robin Schoenrock. The case proceeded to trial on the remaining claims. All right. Well, I don't know what you heard, but it's basically the guy who got accused is called Patrick Longben. He got a job. He's 34.
Patrick the pedophile.
Pat the pedo, yeah. He's 34. He has an 18-year-old girlfriend. He gets his 18-year-old girlfriend after he becomes a cop. So Collins brought the daughter of the guy who calls him a pedo. While making arrangements to provide the girls a ride home after the party, Wilson, one of the guys, and
is Robin the
Schoenrock, I assumed it was a guy, but I guess it could be a girl.
Because I have friends named Robin that are girls.
Yeah, there's no differentiator in the way they spell it. I'm not sure.
I've never heard of a man named, well, I guess, yeah, maybe I heard of one guy named Robin.
Responding, provide the girls around. Wilson and Schoenrock made several telephone calls to one another. According to Wilson, Schoenrock referred to Longben as Pat the pedo during one of these calls. Okay, well, Longben met with the chief of police 3 weeks later for some odd reason. During their conversation, he explained that the community thought that he had questioned his reputability because of his relationship with the 18-year-old woman. He added that some members of the community referred to him as Pat the pedo. When Longwood reported to work the next day, Heaton advised him that he was discharged from employment. When Longben inquired as to the basis of the discharge, Heaton replied that city officials had made the decision because of Longben's loss of credibility in the community. Heaton also cited several citizen complaints that contributed to the decision to discharge. Well, hopefully they show us that. He is not going to pull off this guy. He should drive that car over to Monty's house tonight and beg him to fucking stop it. Yep.
I planted the seed in Monty's chat one night. I said to Monty, I said, just tell Nick you'll take his car and you'll settle. He read it.
Oh, yeah. He did?
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious. I think it's here. In the action against Schoenrock, Wilson's testimony established that Schoenrock referred to Longband as Pat the pedophile. This phrase suggests a propensity toward committing, if not the commission, of a sex crime. Because the statement alleges sexual misconduct, it is defamatory per se. When viewed in the light most favorable to Longband, the evidence reasonably supports a claim for defamation. Therefore, the district court erred in dismissing the claims with prejudice. Accordingly, we reverse the dismissal of the defamation claim against Schoenrock and remand for further proceedings.
That fucks Nick right there. Dry. I don't understand why Nick's even fighting this. Like, he's not stupid. Once he got served the case, he should, okay, I have to take this serious now. Let me look into, do I stand a chance or don't I?
But he wants to save face. He wants to pretend like he's got so much fuck you money that he can do this.
Like Jack Murphy.
Oh, here's that one, the Anderson. So there are 3. A statement is defamatory per se, requiring no proof of special damage when the harm to a claimant's reputation may be implied as a matter of law. A false statement that a person has committed a crime or sexual misconduct is defamatory per se because of the, well, here's proof that they've upheld that.
Yes. We're not even lawyers, and we can figure that this is a bad idea. It's burning money.
Definitely.
Because you know you can't win.
How embarrassing. But do you think it's not about that, right? Because if you do, if Schneider makes one misstep, for instance, he filed this
Schneider
case.
Doesn't have to do anything.
Well, he almost lost it by not stating claims in the first iteration of his filing. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Now he should just show up and hit play. He just should be able to show up and hit play.
Should.
Now, Judge, we turn it over to the defense. Because there is no defense. You can't say free speech. So not only was the jury right, but the appeals court was right in this decision that Nick is fucked.
Holy shit.
Pull up. Pull up.
Any time. No, it's too late.